put it at for later dates. This conference is going to decide such questions.
There will be a very clear and unmistakable voice from this conference about the future.
Well, the conference has still got a lot of work to do. It did not convene just to elect the leadership.
Of the three regions of the African National Congress in the province of Natal, I welcome you all to this historic conference of the African National Congress.
This is a historic conference. Your conference will be scrutinized and observed throughout the country and indeed throughout the world.
Subordinates itself to the leadership of the ANC at all levels. But in terms of its day-to-day operations, the command of MK will take full charge of those operations.
Comrade Chairman, we must raise the point that until now, a number of MK comrades have or do constitute part of the security of the offices of the ANC. But they do so with jungle knives. Shouldn't we add there that the NEC should engage the regime and secure the right for these comrades who act in these capacities to actually do so?
It would be proper to simply just draft a resolution, present it to conference as if we have no other resolution when we have a resolution from the consultative conference. And also I thought it would be proper also to get some kind of report. I know that comrades normally say, well, you can't report openly on defense units. On the one hand, I accept that, but on the other hand, it can become a very handy excuse for not doing anything about this matter. And I think that it is very important that we do get some kind of feedback from the NEC as to what has been done about this particular matter, in order also to try and connect our resolution from the consultative conference and the resolution that we are likely to take from this particular conference. I think also in the resolution or this conference should look at the question of deadline
of our times has been the inability of the successive white regimes to halt our struggle. Even at the most difficult times, our people never surrendered. As a result, despite all the schemes aimed at destroying our movement, we grew both in stature and effectiveness.
The consultative conference gave the national executive a mandate to pursue talks about talks by setting up certain mechanisms. Immediately after conference, the NEC met, took decisions about the composition of those mechanisms, and failed to carry them through consciously on the basis that we were heading for this present conference. I'm saying this not destructively, comrades. I'm saying this constructively for the incoming national executive. We would not like to meet again at conferences to find that decisions of conferences are so lightly overlooked.
I sympathize, comrade, with the point that you are making, but we're dealing with a specific historical context where the launching of this campaign of terror against the people here in the Transvaal and elsewhere, we have in fact said
has constituted an additional obstacle to negotiations, and that unless the matter was effectively addressed, we would not in fact proceed.
Voting was conducted fairly and the ballot was secret. Counting was accurate. The Electoral Commission has reported that it is satisfied that free and fair elections were conducted for all positions, and the results which have been announced and which I will now announce are in accordance with the secret ballots that were conducted. As you know, yesterday you resolved unanimously to elect Comrade Oliver Tambo to the position of National Chairman of the ANC. There was only one candidate for the position of President. No ballot was necessary, and I accordingly take great pleasure in announcing the election of Comrade Nelson Mandela to the post of President. Results of the 50 successful candidates
participants of this 48th National Conference of the ANC, representing a cross-section of South African society, workers, students, the rural masses, intellectuals, religious communities, business persons, men and women, young and old, black and white, hereby adopt this declaration as our collective message to our country and to the world. This 48th National Conference of the ANC comes at a time when our country and its people are poised to commence the last leg of our long struggle to bring an end to minority domination and to usher in an era of democracy and peace. We reaffirm our unambiguous commitment to exploring every possible avenue to resolve by peaceful means the problems of our country. We note with alarm the continuation of vigilante violence perpetrated by agencies of the state against black communities. We refuse to submit to the temptations of despair induced by the enemies of democracy, justice and peace, who have over the past 18 months subjected our country to unprecedented level of violence and bloodletting with a view to derailing the search for peace and postponing indefinitely the establishment of a democratic, non-racial state. We remain committed to the call for an interim government and a constituent assembly elected on the basis of one person, one vote, on a non-racial voters' roll. We, together with a majority of South Africans, are committed to the advancement of the struggle within the context of the new situation. We are conscious of the heavy responsibility on the African National Congress and the people in general to ensure that this takes place with a minimum of bloodshed and destruction. We pledge to march together in ever-swelling ranks to a united, non-racial, non-sexist and democratic South Africa. Let peace